Hello and welcome to One Day Leader Season 4. My name is Tumelo Mututwane. Well, in the past 3 seasons, we've seen inspiring young leaders who are very keen to contribute value and build their country. Well, of course, not only that, but we've also seen leaders who have made it to the top and have also faced their challenges throughout the past 3 seasons. Now, we have received over 2,000 entries from every corner in South Africa from young leaders who are very keen in contributing change and building South Africa. From the 2,000, our judges had the very difficult task of toning it down to our top 45 and then ultimately finding our top 6 leaders. Now, if you are just as keen to know who our top 6 leaders are for One Day Leader Season 4, you can go to our Facebook page and Twitter account and engage there just to keep guessing who our leaders are. But for the man and woman responsible for judging our leaders, let's meet our judges. This year, we welcome Catherine Constantinides back as a permanent judge for Season 4.
So Catherine is a very passionate South African, someone who has worked for many years, because I started working when I was 16, and I really understand South Africans. I understand young people in our country and across our continent. I'm someone who's happiest when I'm barefoot in the garden, outside on a farm, planting things, growing trees, doing that kind of thing. It's really that back to nature kind of thing. So I'm really the girl next door, but one that's really passionate about building our country, empowering young people, and making sure that we together build the future that we believe is possible. Being a judge on One Day Leader is an exciting platform of surprises, unexpected twists and turns, and it's really an insightful opportunity to test the minds of where young South Africans are.
To keep fit and young, Catherine keeps busy with her 5-year-old son, Matthew. We welcome Deborah Ditshego as the new permanent judge.
My journey as an entrepreneur started in primary school, where there was a teacher outside assembly in Princess Primary in Roodepoort, who said, you know, guys, when you grow up, there are not going to be enough jobs. And it's important for you to think about creating jobs as opposed to just looking for jobs. I am absolutely excited to be a judge. This is what our country needs. A platform where young people can aspire to positivity. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those contestants grow in leaps and bounds. I want these communities to also be impacted with some of the things that our leaders will be doing, you know, and in Sizulu we say, izandla ziyagezana. We need to work together to make a greater impact.
We can't wait to see what Deborah has in store for our contestants. We've made a great change in the scoring system. This year, for the first time, our audience will also get to vote. The judges have 2 points for the debate. The audience vote is 1 point. The contestant with the highest score will get 2 points when the viewers vote, and the runner-up contestant will get 1 point. What makes One Day Leader different is that we're grooming leaders who will form their space and part in society. Now, after their process, past candidates informed us that not only did they learn more about themselves, but their leadership qualities. And back in 2013, these past candidates formed the One Day Leader Foundation. And we're going to take a look at a few recognizable faces who are going to tell us more about this foundation.
The participants, or the individuals who are involved in the foundation, are the alumni of the One Day Leader program in itself. These are leaders who are leading in diverse industries and diverse sectors, who are like-minded in the cause to undergo a process of renewal in the African continent.
The One Day Leader Foundation is a new and exciting platform that seeks to unearth the talents that lies in the youth of South Africa.
We have begun to see a trend that it's in relation to things in our history that we're not really aware of. In Malawi, for instance, prior to its colonization, people in Malawi used to use a significant way in order to build their houses. They used a mixture of a combination of materials in which would ensure that the house that you're living in, whenever it's hot, it would be cool inside the house. Whenever it would be cool outside, it would be warmer inside the house. And this kind of indigenous knowledge has been lost over time. And we began to start thinking to say, but if we had this kind of indigenous knowledge and indigenous history on the continent, it could have made significant contribution in the built environment.
This is what happens far and beyond what we see on the TV screens, but the actual work that begins, and it begins with us, the previous leaders from the various seasons.
One Day Leader Alumni, we've identified that a lot of the challenges that we face have a direct cause from a history that we don't really know of.
If we know who we are as a people, I think we're able to tell our story differently, but we're also able to see ourselves differently. We're able to see ourselves as, partakers in the greater economy of this world, as opposed to being individuals or a state or a continent that is constantly dependent on others.
We all have the same background. We all have basically the same history. And so in going through the history channel, it basically is going to unite us, not just in this particular country, but in terms of the continent. Because we believe that this continent is very powerful and is a sleeping giant. So what we see in the next 5 years, perhaps, is us just crossing the borders and being able to participate with our peers in the rest of the continent, and making sure that we establish ourselves on the international platform, and our presence is actually felt.
Incredible work from the foundation. It makes me very keen to know who our top 6 leaders are. Now, before we got to our top 6, we had to go through a rigorous elimination process where we had the top 45, narrowed it down to top 20, and then found our top 6 leaders. Now, after the break, we meet the top 45. Welcome back to One Day Leader Season 4. Now, I stated before the ad break, we've received thousands of entries from around the country, from young leaders very keen to make it to the top 6 of the competition. And the judges had to narrow it down to the top 90, and now we have the top 45. But before we get into it, let's take a look at some of those videos we've received from our entrants.
Okay, who is Takani? Takani is a young woman that comes from a village called Chino within the Limpopo province. I believe that One Day Leader, first of all, it's fun, it's relevant, it's educational, looking at the times that we are living in as young people. I'm a young woman driven with the aim of sharing my skills and ideas to make a lasting impact within South Africa.
Expected more from Dinswalo, with regards to what she's going to offer the platform. So I'm very interested in seeing how she will express what her interests and what her contribution to this competition is, especially since the 3 seasons have passed, and what difference she's going to put on the table.
Now, what is a leader? A leader is a community organizer. A leader is able to organize the community around making interventions on a very specific problem. I need this platform because I need to interact with not only my individual community, but I need to interact with the nation, because I believe that I possess the skills and the knowledge that will be able to make specific interventions that will help with the nation's problems.
In 2008, I was then approached by matric students from different high schools within Motherwell to assist them with mathematics and physical science. Ever since then, I have been involved with the outreach program where I advise unemployed youth and matric students about career path by assessing their academic background and passion.
All right, well, there you have it. That's Mandisi. What I like about Mandisi is that he speaks very well about the relevance topics, of course, in South Africa. As you know, the Fees Must Fall movement has been, leading our headlines in the country. I like the fact that he's already on the ground assisting young people so to better their lives. He seems very well spoken, very passionate, very serious about what he's doing. It's not only for the camera, so I'm excited to see how he performs in this competition.
Hi guys, my name is Philip Mutaung and I'm known as Obama. I'm from Free State and I'm 25 years of age. I have been a debater during my high school days, and I believe that I did fairly well as far as that is concerned, because I was able to represent the province of Free State in many debate nationals. I also believe that it is high time I take this debating to the next level, and I believe that One Day Leader will give me maximum exposure and will allow me to do that.
I believe that One Day Leader isn't just about the in-studio debates, but rather what happens outside the studios, where the leaders actually get to interact with communities, they get to uplift communities, community members, high school students who have lost hope, get to do projects and things like that. And I believe that I'm able to motivate students, and I'm able to reach out to people. Another reason why I believe I should be on One Day Leader is because I've been through leadership from class rep to high school RCL to being on the SRC.
I think what I like about Anise is the fact that she is, different in terms of her look and also where she comes from. She's from Rwanda, as you know, and represents more of a continental outlook as to what young people in the continent are going through. Now, you do know that in the previous year, we've seen the Garissa University students being killed, more than 150 of them at the Kenyan University. It's very interesting to see, a young woman outside of the borders of South Africa come into this competition and offer something, more of a broader, continental perspective as to what young people are going through.
Last year, I was granted the opportunity to be on One Day Leader Season 3's Top 20. And I feel like that experience made me learn a lot about myself and a lot about the type of leader that I want to be. In Season 4, I think I can offer a great sense of leadership under the fact that 1, I get things done, 2, I know how to get things done, and 3, I'm pretty articulate in how I want things done. And I think that would bring a new dynamic to the show, but also a very interesting dynamic to the show.
This is someone that has experience in being a part of this competition, having made it to the top 20 of, One Day Leader Season 3. He seems very confident. He's very well spoken. I have a thing for people that are very articulate, so you can understand what they're saying. He also seems to have a sense of an understanding of what One Day Leader seeks in a youth leader. Now, he mentioned about 3 times that he knows how to get things done. He gets things done, and he's a man that's about practicality.
I think I should be on One Day Leader, mainly because of the fact that the current leaders of today are not speaking to the challenges we're facing as the young people in South Africa. I think the youth of today needs to sit down, find solutions to problems, and then criticize and engage on those solutions until they become long-term sustainable solutions.
My vision, I would like to influence young people to follow my footsteps of leadership by making a difference in their communities for better South Africa. The nature of leadership is saving people. People do what they see. Through my journey, young people would learn how to become better leaders. They will learn that they don't have to be great to make a difference, but they have to start to make a difference. I believe in young people. They can become better leaders, regardless of their age, race, gender, marital status, background, or profession. I am a tour guide leader. I want young people to improve and reach their leadership potential for this country.
I believe that I should be on One Day Leader because One Day Leader is a program that focuses on leadership as well as the lives of South Africans in terms of the economical, social, and political spectrum. In terms of the social perspective, I am an aspiring social worker and I live my life to understand and study on the social well-being and functioning of individuals within the South African context.
I'm very interested in how you're going to apply your social work, academic background, your experience into this competition.
I, Portia Bridget Mashaba, have fully portrayed leadership qualities in the roles that I play in the society. For I believe I am a game changer through establishing my own organization called Lemonade South Africa, which is aimed at empowering young people to serve in our communities and to remember that we all have a social responsibility. For a leader like I believe that you have to act and lead by actions and be an exemplar.
Hello. My name is Ketutula Gumede, 22 years of age, originally from KwaZulu-Natal, but now based in Gauteng. The main reason why I want to be part of the show, the One Day Leader Show, is exposure, showcase my innovative ideas, contribute to the robust debate centered around finding tangible solutions to the many social ills of our country. I believe the show offers a great platform in doing such and enhances the leadership skills of the youth.
Okay, Ketuktula, I really like you. I think you understand exactly what we're looking for here at One Day Leader. You're talking about innovative ideas. You're talking about, needing this platform so you can showcase your ideas, your opinions, your perspective on where the country is now, and most importantly, to provide solutions as to where you foresee the country has potential in moving to. So I think I like the fact that you understand that, you need to be very robust. You need to be very up-paced. You need to be very relevant. The topics that you tackle on the show need to make sure that they relate to what's currently affecting young people in the country. And then you have in South Africa, well, those were the videos and some of the highlights from our top 45. And now, after the break, we take a look at the top 20 as they make their way to Johannesburg in the Gauteng province, and also take a look at their robust debates. We'll be right back. The candidates chosen on our top 20 arrived at the One Day Leader House, ready to battle it out for the top 6 position.
I'm very honored to be here today, to be one of the top 20 members of One Day Leader.
It's one of the great experiences that I ever had in life regarding leadership journey.
I think this is a journey, this is just the beginning, and I'm just so excited to go all the way.
I will get an exposure where I will share with people my vision. Like, I want to make impact in people's life. I want to make a difference, so I want to make it with people who want to make a difference.
Good morning, leaders. My name is Tumelo Mototwane. I will be your host for One Day Leader Season 4. Congratulations to each and every one of you for surpassing the thousands of entries that we have received right here on One Day Leader. But we are looking for our top 6 to proceed in the next round of the competitions. And unfortunately, the rest of you will have to go home. Now, before we get into our top 6 and how everything will go on, let me introduce to you to our judges. Now, leaders, on my right, we have the lovely Miss Catherine Constantinidis. On my left, we have the gentleman, Mr. Tebogo Ditseho. Now, these are your 2 permanent judges for One Day Leader Season 4. Now, as you know, for you to proceed to the top 6, we have to go through another rigorous round of toss, which brings me to our next level of this competition. Now, leaders, in front of me is a bowl. In this bowl are 5 topics. Now, each of the topics have a number accounted to them. You will each be called to come to the fore and pick up a topic. Now, this topic, as I've mentioned, has a number, which means that if you pick a number, there's an opponent with the same number that has and shares your topic. And therefore, that will be your opponent who will debate with you as you try and proceed to the top 6. Now, with the debates, you each have 30 seconds to prepare your vision statement on the topic. Thereafter, you will have 60 seconds for you and your opponent to debate on your vision statement. And thereafter, you will have 30 seconds to conclude your vision statement. Now, each and every one of you will then have a chance to go at the debate. Now, without any further ado, I'd like to ask each and every one of you, starting on my left, to come to the front and pick out a topic. But please, do not open your topic until I say so. Now, we'll start with my gentleman on the left. Come and pick your topic, sir. Thank you. Gentlemen, please pick your topic.
I am excited, I am nervous, I am certain that I will take this initiative and I will debate constructively.
Now that I've picked up my topic, but I don't know what the topic is yet and who I'm up against, but I'm still a bit nervous, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to pull through and tackle the topic with my utmost best and be able to be chosen for the top 6 on this competition.
Well, leaders, those are your topics. Now, this is your moment to open up your papers. As each and every one of you is opening up and reading on their topic right now, that will be the topic that you are debating. so that you can proceed to the next round of top 6 for One Day Leader Season 4. Now we're going to give you time to meet your opponent.
5, 6, 5, 6.
We have been given topics which will help us to relate in certain context of how would you encourage the youth of South Africa to establish their own organization in order to alleviate the unemployment rate.
The candidates started getting busy, preparing to state their point of view on a chosen topic for the judges. Now the journey to our top 6 begins right now. Are you ready for our first debate?
Yes.
Alrighty then, let's do it. Leaders, for topic number 4, please make your way. Welcome to the One Day Leader House. This is One Day Leader Season 4. Now you are in the top 20 and you need to proceed to the top 6. If you take a look behind the judges, we have the numbers 1 to 6. But most importantly, below those numbers are 6 sets of keys, meaning that you need to work very hard to get those keys so you can move into the One Day Leader House.
Sakile, you were in the top 20 in Season 3. What happened and what do you believe you bring to the party this time round that should allow you to take one of those keys home?
I think last season was a great motivator for me in terms of the type of leader I wanted to ultimately become. I think last season I might have not been as ready as I am now, but given that year, what I've done is I went back, I relooked myself, my vision, what I ultimately want to achieve, and what my message is here. And I think this time around my message is clear, I know what I want, and I'm out here to get that.
Well, I'll ask you to start this one, and your 30 seconds begins now, sir.
Good day, judges.
It's okay, continue.
A church is a group of Christians coming together to practice worship, not a place for leaders, church leaders, to practice prophetic healings, to practice prophetic ceremonies that will in fact say that it will heal their followers. So I say that law enforcers should be active in these churches so that the followers' rights are met, because we do know that certain church leaders take advantage of their followers and do inhuman
Your
things.
time is up, Sakila. You may now step into the debate.
So fundamentally I found a flaw within your argumentation. We're understanding what churches are, right? What I'm not getting from you is how you think law is the correct solution to intervene in that. I think people ultimately are poor, they are coercible and corruptible also.
Okay, Sakila, let me stop you right over there. What I mean is, we do know in the African industry, in the African country, churches are more popular, churches are more driven than any other place. Let me explain to you. Law enforcers will ensure that pastors do not take advantage of their followers. We have seen this before in certain pastors. They take advantage of their followers by telling them that if you do this and this, you will be saved. If you do that and they do not challenge them. Let me explain, Sakila. Give me a chance to give my point. Law enforcers will enforce that these pastors never take advantage of their followers. They will ensure that what they do is within the law.
Where do you find it applicable and relative and also okay for law to then interfere in a religious space? I don't think that's okay.
Okay, so what you're saying is that a pastor...
Time's up, hoping the round of your discussion.
Okay, dear judges, what I'm saying is law enforcers will have, because we have seen this in our country where pastors do touch personal private parts of women, and they do this because they have no fear. So if law enforcers are intervening, if law enforcers are there within the churches, they will be afraid to do these things which are wrong. They'll be afraid to touch women's private parts. So law enforcement should be made possible and should be implemented in church to stop pastors from actually being guards in their own congregation, being guards in their own buildings, and do the right thing.
Thank you so much. All right, Sakila, your 30 seconds begins now.
So I think if we're going to have an argument and a conversation, an intellectual discourse around unscrupulous leadership within religious institutions, I think it's pertinent for us to discuss 3 pertinent issues. The first being why people subject themselves to that kind of treatment. The second being what is the problem that arises because of them subjecting themselves to that treatment. And then thirdly, what type of leadership is then needed to steer ahead and guide people out of them ultimately being objectified. And ultimately that's where this debate is.
Sakila, what I want you to say is, what stops the most popular what stops the most popular pastor within our country from touching a woman's private part and saying, I will heal you of a certain
That is not the problem. We shouldn't militarize and sort of militarize our churches, ladies and gentlemen. It is still a place of God. What we need to do is educate people, right? Because when you are impoverished, let me answer you, leader.
Where does that education? Because people go to church for prayers and they see ladies and gentlemen, you are
where
desperate.
does it come from?
And when you are desperate,
who implements that education, Sakile? Answer my question. Who implements that education? Because pastors
that's
are
where
gods
the leaders
in
come
among their
in.
followers.
That's where the leaders come in. I think forcing people forcing the army or the police into churches ultimately drives those institutions underground. It doesn't necessarily mean that activity won't happen. When you educate people to say that this is not allowed in the church, then those people are more sensible to not be corrupted and not be...
Answer my question. Who is to stop pastors from doing wrong things to their followers? Who is to stop pastors?
The people.
So ultimately, this is not about sending the military and police people into churches. This is about educating people so that they know the difference between right and wrong and can ultimately make critically informed and ultimately good decisions. Because when you're educated, you're able to think and weigh up the options and what is happening to you, and you're able to say this is wrong, this shouldn't be happening. And you're able to also take the fact that you are impoverished into consideration and say, just because I'm impoverished, I'm not going to allow this pastor to do this for me because he's promising false hope and ultimately a sense that if this happens to me,
Thank you
I
so
will
much,
be
gentlemen.
relieved of my
Thank you.
situation. Thank you.
I have a question for Hope. Are you saying that there should be law enforcement officers inside the church?
Okay, when I mean law enforcement, normally they cannot be, if it is possible, let them not be cops, but they can be psychologists, anybody who knows the law and can implement it when wrong things are done, when human rights are being violated.
So in every single church across the country, we should have a police officer or a psychologist in the church.
Okay, so in the olden days, churches were required to register so they can be active. What I'm saying is, let us bring that law back so churches can be registered, so we can know how many churches there are.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for that engagement. You may make your way out.
Thank you. Thank you.
How would you encourage young people to start their own businesses to alleviate the employment issue? All right. Well, we'll start this one with yourself, gentlemen. Your 30 seconds begins now.
Thank you. South Africa is currently characterized with the high statistics of unemployment, leaving us to a point whereby we, the youth, we have to establish our own innovative measures by establishing our own organizations. It is important for us to shift priorities, not only focusing on South African problems, but also becoming benchmarkers of intellect, because we can develop strategies that can be benchmarked by foreign countries. As the youth, I can encourage we establish or become participants of entrepreneurial forums whereby we discuss.
Thank you so much, Taban. Let's jump in for your debate. It begins in 60 seconds. Start now.
How would you go about implementing these forums so that it is feasible in what is done?
We establish innovative procedures that will encourage us to be the benchmarkers, because if you look at the current sphere and what our government is doing, we are benchmarking processes from other foreign nationals.
I strongly believe that we should tap into digital marketing in the sense that we look at social media, LinkedIn networks, and we move away from the traditional way of marketing. And our young people should tap into global markets such as franchising and selling their knowledge, concepts, and adopting strategies from other foreign nationalities. The problem that we have with young people in South Africa is the mere fact that they don't have start-up for their capitals.
What I would do differently is because we were given like 45 minutes to prepare, so I wouldn't focus on trying to get so much content on paper. What I would do is I'd go straight in for the kill, talk about everything that I would want to bring across, rather than looking at something that I wrote down beforehand.
The contestants are nervous as they wait their turn for the debate. Without any further ado, let's welcome in our next set of leaders. Now, they have to debate on how do we encourage young people to focus on areas of education that have a high skills shortage to ensure an increase in employment. We'll start this one with you, Nandile. Your 30 seconds begin now.
Young people, this is a call to realize the importance of personal branding within the graduate sector. What checklist can unemployed young South Africans use to boost their personal brands and better their chances of employment? What skills can you use to attractively package yourself for a potential employer? And guys, I encourage you to gain more access to the information system for careers, to know how to be relevant in the job market and not have a mismatch of skills. Let's not produce 12,000 philosophers and then 5,000...
Your 30 seconds is done. Mr. Jack, you may jump in after the debate.
Thank you for your vision statement, Nandi. I heard the what, but I am more interested in the how. How do you think the youth can actually create employment and increase it.
First of all, it starts at a very, at a young level, at junior level, when I think primary, even high school, career guidance. Let's identify these children's strengths. What are their talents? Let's unlock their potentiality long term. So when we harness those strengths and then look at what's relevant in the job market, match the two. And I think that's the first, at foundation phase. That's where we need to begin.
From what I can hear is that it's basically they are doing, but what initiatives must be put in place to actually make sure that they create those opportunities for themselves?
Oh, these are schools. A Department of Education can play a big role here as well. We need kids getting psychometric tests at the age of 5. I myself personally got that. That is why I'm in this industry. And that's why I'm standing here right now. It was discovered at a very young age that arts was my strength.
In the 3 following debates, we had some very confident ladies and gentlemen who were eager to put their opinions across. And the heat kept rising higher and higher for some of the contestants.
I'm about to go in now. What's going through my mind is just that I just need to be focused. I need to think cautiously in terms of what I have to say. And I'm just going to speak from the heart and speak about the issues that we are facing as a whole and as a country with regards to my topic.
Now we'll start this one with the lady. Your 30 seconds begin now.
Thank you. As a point of departure, as a South African, I first deemed it necessary to mention that we are all governed by Section 2 of the Constitution that says all law applies and is governed by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That being said, I then refer to Section 11, which is the right to life, Section 27, which is the right to healthcare, and finally Section 9, which is the right to equality. Now, this being said, I would like to ask, if someone would be against this topic, would you then imply that healthcare is only relevant for those who have money and the elite of this country?
Time's up. Debate may begin now.
In order for us to understand the topic holistically, we need to look at healthcare from a government point of view. And we also need to start asking ourselves very pertinent questions such as, when we look at healthcare in South Africa, have you considered the fact that healthcare workers are being underpaid? Have you considered that public healthcare facilities are understaffed? And have you also considered the fact that these healthcare workers, if they are working in a system that does not recognize their efforts, they are then going to become insensitive to the very second-class individuals that we speak of. So we need to contextualize it in the form of how government is responding to the healthcare workers, because how they are responded to is how they respond to the people that they need to care for. Now, in order for us to also understand this, we have to make a distinction between public healthcare facilities and private healthcare facilities. In light of this, we also need to look at the transformation agenda post-1994. I will give you an opportunity just now. If you look at transformation post-1994, why is it that we can't have complaints on the Morningside Clinic, but we always have complaints from public healthcare facilities? That goes to show that post-1994...
Time's up. We didn't get your point of view, but now's your time to conclude your vision statement.
Oh, okay. Basically, sorry, can I ask something? I'm so sorry. I thought he finishes speaking and then I come in afterwards. So am I supposed to interrupt him while he's speaking?
It's a debate. So with the debate, you have to make sure that in the 60 seconds, you get your point across regardless. So if you allow an opponent to overpower you, you lose out on the time given to you. Well, we'll start this one with yourself, gentlemen. Your 30 seconds begins now.
Currently, South Africa's...
you still have time? Come on, go on.
Nervous.
Don't be nervous. Breathe and speak. This is how the president feels when he's in parliament, right?
Okay.
And you just keep throwing questions and you're like, we don't care.
Actually, I was surprised by myself. I just got frozen. When I was asked the first question, I couldn't answer. And then I think I was nervous. I couldn't articulate whatever I prepared. But I'm happy with the experience which I got. I hope for the... I think I'm still nervous.
Philip, you may shift in there to just interject, please. Start now.
Democracy is the government of the people, by people, for the people. That means anything that is happening to people, by people, must be decided by the same people. Now, in this case, there are 4 issues that I believe they must be raised as far as introducing the jury is concerned. I am for, by the way. Number 1, we need to make sure that we avoid the legal inconsistencies that we see happening in our courts. Number 2, we need to introduce jury because we need to make sure that we provide effective legal judgment, because it will be the decision that is made by many as opposed to that which is made by one judge. And thirdly, we need to make sure that we introduce this jury because we want to curb the problem of corruption where our legal system is corrupted. So it will be much difficult for a perpetrator to try and bribe many judges as opposed to that of bribing one judge. So in this case, it is quite crucial to make sure that we bring the jury in so that I'm actually against the status quo of saying one individual must judge on a case, whereas as opposed to many minds that must judge on a case of a common interest. As I stop for my opening statement.
Leader, I don't know what happened there. I waited for you to debate with him. That was your opportunity, but now you have a chance in 30 seconds to conclude your vision statement. Start now.
Currently, jurisdiction which is used in South Africa is...
You still have time. You still have more seconds. Come on. Step up, be a leader.
Never. Can I just go to the law and come back, please?
Continue. You still have seconds. Philip is waiting for you. We can't waste Philip's time. This is your last chance. Leaders with topic number 9, please make your way.
My topic is what should the Department of Education be doing to ensure access for learners to opportunities and study globally. There's a lot that I can mention about the funding and like how corporations are going to work together with the department and institutions set for education in South Africa. Education exists for the purpose of establishing an informed community and country, and failure to do so stops us from achieving social cohesion. And so the department needs to find a system that helps develop in access to funding, mentors, and creating a network between non-profits, investors, and create a study and work opportunities globally.
In 2003, 550,000 students were enrolled in grade 1. In 2015, only 150,000 of them could qualify for university. This means that we're currently not creating globally competitive citizens. Why is this the problem?
Well, you have to realize that our country is one that has suffered from microaggressions and unequal opportunities.
Of course.
Do you not consider that?
Of course, but we must consider the problem, right? The problem is the fact that we don't have globally competitive teachers that are equipped to actually teach these kids and produce the best learners out of them in the end. How do you do that? You pay them more. You incentivize the teachers to actually have a better profession in the teaching proficiency altogether, right? You give teachers the same salary that you give a lawyer, that you give a doctor, because what you do is that you're creating the incentive for the best students to get into their professions.
What gets you may conclude your vision statement.
Where the government has to I'm sorry. I'll be honest, not the best. I kind of forgot my points of principle. I was very nervous.
Judges, now we have another group of leaders comprising of females. Let's look at what they have to offer. Right. Well, lady, your 30 seconds to state your vision statement begins now.
For this global challenge, we need a global solution, technological advancement. The South African Embassy, Home Affairs Department, the South African Institute of Risk Management all need to come together, revise currently existing procedures that look at vigilance and security plans. We need to update and constantly change our security plans because prevention is better than cure.
I hear her point about all the things that we already done in the country, but I strongly believe that there is one thing that we are leaving out in all of this: unity in our country. There's been ups and downs already in our country, but we are struggling to tackle the most important matter, of which we are not unified at all.
These religious extremists come and attack in full capacity, and it is only through working smart rather than working hard that we can, in fact, combat this matter, and that is through technological advancement. Thank you.
Boniwe, you lost me a little in your, in your debates and in your points. I want to understand, what is your definition of religious extremists?
I believe that it's being pushed to the edge in a way that it tests your religion as an individual.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah. Judges, thank you so much. Leaders, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Make your way out. Now it's time to decide on our top 6 who will proceed to the next level of the competition. We've also seen how the leaders have debated and the judges had mixed feelings. But without any further ado, let's actually have a peek into what the judges have to say. Are you ready to announce the top 6? How was it?
It wasn't easy, it was tough.
Yeah.
But I think we eventually got our top 10 that we did agree on. And then it was just to decide who those final 6 that'll take that key and make this their home. Who are those 6?
Well, Teboho, what was the most difficult and most challenging part of deliberating and choosing your top 6?
Well, we all had contestants who we thought would make the top 6 that didn't make it. We won't mention names, but I think the caliber of the contestants was top notch. And it made the lives of the judges very difficult. But at the end of the day, we had to reach a compromise. And I think we made the right decision.
Without any further ado,
okay.
May I have the names?
Here you go.
Right. Wow. South Africa, it's official. I have in my hand the top 6 leaders that have surpassed the thousands of entries that we've received, went to the top 45, then top 20, had to stand in the one-day leader house right in front of the judges to convince them as to why they deserve those 6 keys so they can officially move into the one-day leader house and be a part of One Day Leader Season 4. And their names are, I'll announce after the break. I'm now getting ready to meet our very first top 6 candidate, a gentleman named Tami Bowe. We were not impressed with your debate, yourself and your opponent. We were not impressed at all. I want you right now to tell me in 30 seconds why you think that I should give you this much needed key so you can make it in the top 6 of the competition. Why do you think I should give you this key?
So, I think above everything, it's capacity building. Like, the show is about capacity building and building me as an individual leader and giving me the platform also to help build the capacity of other leaders as well. Like, it's one thing.
Tell me, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
You're wasting my time. So let's not do this back and forth. I have debated with your opponent, and between yourself and him, unfortunately, Tami, for him, he didn't make it. You are part of the top 6.
Oh my God.
I was just messing with you. I was just messing with you. So this is your key.
That was hectic. I was, yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Around the corner, right here in Bromfontein, I'm about to meet a lady who's originally from KZN, Nandile Mlambo.
Coming. Hi, Joey.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
Great to see you.
How have you been?
Great. But, waiting anxiously.
I know. Well, Nandile, as you know, we're here, of course, to let you know whether you made it to the top 6 or not. It was a very tough decision.
I can imagine.
It was very tough. So, with that said, Nandile, I'm here to tell you that, unfortunately, you have 13 weeks to prepare yourself because you are part of the top 6 of One Day Leader Season 4.
I can't believe it. I'm not a crier. I don't know what to say. Can I hug you?
Yes, you can.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you can. The first thing that just came to my head, my piece on my belly.
Oh.
So that's ithakazelo zakithi lezo. Oh my God, my piece lani khona mankunzini khokho bami
And finally, I asked Catherine to meet the third candidate, who is from the Northwest Province but is currently in Johannesburg, Zarif Minty.
I'm not sure if my phone's ringing, but sorry, just a moment. No, it's not my phone. It seems to be a golden key in my bag, and one that I think is definitely one that I'd like to give you, and I'd like to welcome you to the One Day Leader House. This key is for you, and today you go through.
Wow, thank you so much.
With 3 contestants knowing their fate, we decided to bring them to the house and get ready for an intriguing experience on One Day Leader. Well, well, well. Welcome, leaders. How are you guys feeling?
Good.
Great. Are you awesome?
Yeah.
You are part of the top 6 of One Day Leader Season 4. With that said, you are at the One Day Leader Season 4 house.
Yay.
These are the headquarters. This is where you'll be staying. Are you keen to see your rooms?
Yep.
Yeah. This is at the house? Yep. Go for it.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. This is cool.
Wow, this is really nice. Eh?
Oh Very spacious, hey?
Look at this. We have a fireplace as well, bro.
It's a very, very beautiful house. Like we're just mentioning right now, like how you walk outside of like the sliding door and you walk into this view of the park with the pool and everything. Like it's such a perfect environment for like a picnic or a Christmas party. It's a house for way more than 6 people. So that's what excites me about the house, man. Like we won't be in each other's faces, but at the same time we'll be like enough for each other to be family. You know what I mean? And that's what the house allows. It's so warm.
You know, I've been, debating in my mind who the other 3 candidates could be. I think I have an idea, but I also think I'm going to be surprised. So looking forward to it. Shame, they must be so nervous.
We told the final 3 contestants that they are here for the last round of debates. Hi, leaders. How are you?
Okay.
I need to hear leadership. Are you well this morning?
We are good this morning.
That's good.
We are well.
All right. The judges are waiting for you inside. Catherine and Tebogo would like to see you one more time just to be sure if you have what it takes to move our country forward, if you have what it takes to be the leader that we're actually looking for in our competition. So I won't waste any further time. We're all waiting to hear what you have to offer. So without any further ado, are you ready to convince the judges?
Yes.
The judges are waiting for you.
Oh my gosh, Ndothukile. I was so shocked. And I'm wondering why are they making a noise? Where am I? What's this? And I think for a minute completely. And I was trying to move from that point where I walked in, and then why is everyone making a noise? So I'm really excited, but in Sazama I'm trying to compose myself. I still feel a bit shaky, but I'm very happy in Diavuya. I'm so honored. I'm just over the moon.
Guys, well done. We couldn't sleep. We formulated vision statements.
Well done.
How could you?
They're going to make us debate about what it's day.
Yeah, like
vision
Whitney is.
statement. Oh, it does make
He was
sense.
even singing a song to like chill out.
Well, guys, congratulations to each and every one of you. You are the top 6! So everyone, look behind you. How many keys? How many keys left?
3.
I need everyone that hasn't received their key to just grab your key right now before somebody comes and take it away from you.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Congratulations.